Hello, welcome back to The Cozy Chair. I am excited to read a story to you that I loved when I was a kid. When I was little, my favorite room in my house was a library. I would push open the double doors, and there were books from floor to ceiling. And even though I was small, if there was a book that I couldn't quite reach, I would roll the ladder over, climb up the ladder, and pull it out. And one of the books that I pulled out the most and took to my mother to read to me was this one, Where the Wild Things Are. Story and pictures by Maurice Sendak. Now, this book has been around for quite a while. See this medal right here? That's the Caldecott medal. And he got the Caldecott medal in 1964 for the most distinguished picture book of the year. Isn't that great? It's been around for a long time. I have read this book hundreds of times. I used to have this book in a paperback until it just fell apart, and I finally went and got a hardbound copy. And I'm happy because now I've got many, many more times to read it. That's what's great about a good book. You can read it hundreds of times, and it's still so exciting. So whether you know Max or not, I hope you will enjoy Where the Wild Things Are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew. And grew and grew until his ceiling hung with vines, and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. Here's he sailing to the wild things. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars, and gnashed their terrible teeth, and rolled their terrible eyes, and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with a magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all, and made him king of all wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." Let's see what happens during this wild rumpus. Look at them, dancing by the light of the moon. And climbing the trees. Ho, 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 ho. They think that is pretty fun. And having a parade. Don't you wish you could see that parade? I know I do. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth, rolled their terrible eyes, and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And so back over a year, and in and out of weeks, and through a day, and into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. Is that a fun book or what? I really loved reading that to my kids, especially Dade. That book was for Dade. Hello, Dade! I hope that you enjoyed coming to the Cozy